You know, come to think about it, if there was one Ranger out there that fans of the Power Rangers franchise had the most questions about, that would be the Phantom Ranger. The Phantom Ranger, which by the way, Phantom, cool name, it's like a ghost. It's a mysterious figure that was kind of the Sixth Ranger in a way to the Turbo Rangers. He also had these invisibility powers that were really cool. But even though he looked cool and helped in the search for Zordon as well as the battle and countdown to destruction, we don't really know much about them at all. And even after all these years, we still don't really know who's under that helmet. So what is the origin of the Phantom Ranger? Yo, what's up everybody, it's Este here, welcome back to another video, and today we'll be talking about the biggest Power Rangers mystery finally being revealed, and that is the origin of the Phantom Ranger. And to look into that, we gotta take a look at the Power Rangers universe set of comics. Because back then, the Phantom Ranger wasn't always so dark. He had an original form called the morphinaut, which is kind of a play on words between morphin and astronaut. Kind of original, I don't know. We first see him on the planet Earth researching a proto-arc, which if you don't know is actually a direct connection to the morphing grid and its entire realm. They needed to enter this realm and get this morphing grid energy to save a numerous amount of people and power planets beyond imagination. However, once he was investigating and got inside this realm of the grid, he had noticed an evil shadow lurking by and told his friend on the other side, Shandil, to turn off the proto-arc, trapping themselves as well as the evil for good. Or so we thought. Before we continue the story of the Phantom Ranger, I need to know, are you invisible to the E-Squad? Subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any single one of my Power Ranger videos. And because I love the E-Squad so much, E-Squad comment of the day, leave a funny comment down below, put E-Squad in it, and you might be in the next video. So who was this evil figure lurking inside the realm of the morphic grid? That would be Dark Specter, one of the main villains from Power Rangers in Space, and both themselves and the morphinaut had the same mission: get to the morphing grid. However, obviously one of them were going to use it for evil ways, of course. 500 years later, an attack on Earth from Dark Specter would hit a Master Forge, which was a physical station that harnessed the morphing grid energy. And this would shoot out the morphinaut from the morphing grid realm, and they would now find themselves back on Earth, filled and revolved around morphing grid energy. Luckily, there was these group of little teenagers with attitude, by the way, not the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they were actually the Mighty Morphin Masters. And they would help out both the morphinaut and try to take down Dark Specter by taking some of that morphing grid energy that had surrounded the morphinaut and using it for themselves. They would absorb this energy source and use that grid to give themselves power and become Power Rangers. But the thing was about these guys is that they weren't really using the power of the morphing grid like that. They were just kind of using it on a surface level, revolving around different forms of Power Rangers seen past, present, future, different dimensions and whatnot. So in order to control something, they really need to define their source. And that's when they created the first ever Morpher. They would find a way to control this grid in a singular manner and eventually become the Squadron Rangers, which I did a whole video about their history if you want to go check it out. They would team up with the morphinaut to try to defeat Dark Specter, as we learned that the morphing grid is actually Dark Specter's weakness. And his intentions for the morphing grid was to actually destroy it once and for all, so he can live peacefully without anybody trying to use that power against him. But the only way to actually go into the realm and destroy the morphing grid was to take control of someone who could have access to the grid. So Dark Specter would try to take control of the Squadron Rangers, which didn't really work fully, but did add some obstacles into their mission. The morphinaut saw this and kind of got rubbed off the wrong way, seeing these kids, seeing these young people being used for Dark Specter's evil means. Didn't really feel that well for him. And this is also something that he has been working on for really 500 years, but you know, he's been trapped in that morphing grid realm. So he would offer himself up to the Dark Specter, and Dark Specter would eventually take control of the morphinaut, take away that white and gold color, and actually become the Phantom Ranger. The Squadron Rangers would try to save the morphinaut as well as destroy Dark Specter by destroying their morphers and using their morphing grid energy to saturate the planet with that power source. And that eventually would take out Dark Specter and basically remove him from the morphinaut and now Phantom Ranger's body. But now they took that risk, they don't really have physical forms like they used to. They used to look like regular old humans, Morphin Masters, whatever you want to call them, but now they're kind of revolving around different Power Ranger forms like they did before they created the Morphers, but now, you know, for eternity. So they would take pieces of their previous Morphin hearts and give the now good Phantom Ranger the Power Ruby and send him off into a portal eons into the future, and that's where we see Zordon of Eltar. Fun question I want to ask everybody: who do you think is under the helmet of the Phantom Ranger? Let me know your thoughts and your stories in the comments down below. 1,500 likes and I'll do more videos just like this one. Now both Zordon and the Phantom Ranger would kind of be buddies in a way, with Zordon sending Phantom Rangers on different missions, and we can see one of this actually in the Edge of Darkness comic book. So now moving on to the planet DeQuar, the Phantom Ranger went on a mission ordered by Zordon to rescue both Lady Fienna, who was the original holder of the Dragon Shield, as well as her daughter Rita, who we know of course as Rita Repulsa, but back then she was a little baby, pretty harmless. And they were being attacked by a bunch of Tengu warriors sent by the evil Master Vile. And as they were being captured, the Phantom Ranger would of course show up with their power of invisibility and try to take down these Tengus themselves. However, these Tengus are pretty tough though. More tough than when we saw in season 3 of MMPR, which, you know, they just looked like funny birds who did a little dancey dance and try to beat up the Rangers. Not true. The Phantom Ranger was going all out on this mission up until his very own death. But Rita's mom, Fienna, as much as a saint she was, wouldn't let this happen and would lead them back to the Phantom Ranger ship to escape. I talked previously about that Master Forge, a physical place where you can access the Morphin Grid's energy, and it's actually the only place where the Phantom Ranger could actually heal themselves, because now the Phantom Ranger, like the Morphin Masters in a way, are connected to the grid. But they came up with an idea while they were doing all of this. You know, the Squadron Rangers, they gave up their physical forms and used that Morphin Grid energy to saturate the planet. So in order to stop Master Vile using Rita for any evil purposes, as well as Dark Specter trying to corrupt her, they had the idea of giving Rita some Morphin Grid energy herself. And so in this Master Forge, the process began. But peace did not last long, as some Tengu warriors did manage to enter the Master Forge and fought the Phantom Ranger. Master Vile himself actually showed up as well, and we can see the Phantom Ranger standing by Rita's side, trying to comfort her with the little story. I'm sorry, but if I'm going through a painful process and someone's trying to tell me a story to calm down, I'm like, please stop. Please stop. I want to go to sleep. But this was cute though, you know, the Phantom Ranger was kind of being like a father figure in a way to Rita, something that Master Vile could never truly be, you know, because he's ugly and gross, disgusting. Master Vile would ultimately kill Fienna and defeat the Phantom Ranger before taking Rita. And even though she couldn't be used as a vessel for Dark Specter, he did train her to become, you know, one of the most evil people ever. The energy transference process that actually occurred in the Forge actually made it overload and ultimately explode, leaving the Phantom alone in the empty space after his failed mission. And he would try to get word, it's like, you know, Phantom Ranger, what's up with the Imperials? Did you get them? Did you not? And he's like, we actually got more trouble. A lot of more trouble. Rita, Master Vile, Dark Specter, all these evil forces of nature were naturally just coming together in this event, and that's when, you know, a few years later during the Mighty Morphin Zeo Turbo, we'll actually see all these people come into fruition and try to take over the world. But the Phantom Ranger was their first line of defense, their first people that actually tried to stop them in their tracks. But ultimately, of course, the Phantom Ranger did go back onto the ship, and we didn't see him until a few years later when they would pop up again with the Turbo Rangers. And that, my friends, is the origin of the Phantom Ranger finally revealed. What do you guys think? Would you love to see more Phantom Rangers adventures in the comics? I would have loved to see more about their history with Zordon. It would have been a cool thing to see. And you know, what else did the Phantom Ranger do as the morphinaut? I would really want to know. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. E-Squad, I love you so much. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, ddonfuego. I'm also on Instagram, notdonfuego. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're at. And of course, and as always, stay awesome, everybody.
Like, subscribe for more. Peace out.
Sleep. And they were calling. Damn.